But let me be very clear with you. Getting rich is not complicated. It's not about luck, and it's definitely not about pretending to be rich. The most people don't fail because they don't make enough money. They fail because they spend it on nonsense. If your money disappears every month and you don't know where it went, then this speech is for you. If you want to build wealth, you must stop buying 5 specific things starting today. Most people think wealth looks a certain way. They imagine expensive clothes, luxury cars, the newest phone, and a lifestyle that gets attention. That mindset is exactly why most people stay broke. Wealth is not about appearance. It's about control. Control over your time, your choices, and your future. The moment you start spending money to look successful instead of becoming successful, you've already lost. People confuse looking rich with being rich. Looking rich is easy, you just swipe a card. Being rich is hard, it requires discipline. Anyone can buy flashy items on credit, but very few people are willing to delay gratification. Real wealth is quiet. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need compliments. It doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Here's the uncomfortable truth: money spent on appearances produces nothing. A logo doesn't generate income. A luxury outfit doesn't pay your bills. A fancy lifestyle does not build assets. These things only signal insecurity disguised as confidence. If you need others to believe you're successful, then you're focused on the wrong goal. Control means your money works for you instead of the other way around. When you own assets, you gain leverage, you gain options. You gain the ability to walk away from bad situations. Appearance gives you none of that. It traps you in a cycle of earning just to spend, working just to maintain an image. That's not success, that's exhaustion. Wealthy people don't ask, "How do I look?" They ask, "What do I own?" They care about cash flow, not compliments. They measure success by how long they could survive without working, not by how impressed strangers are. That mindset shift changes everything. When you stop caring about appearances, you start making smarter decisions. You buy what is functional, not flashy. You invest instead of showing off. You prioritize long-term stability over short-term validation. And suddenly, your money stops disappearing and starts multiplying. The most powerful feeling isn't being admired, it's being independent. It's knowing you don't need to impress your boss, your friends, or anyone else because your finances give you options. That's control. That's real wealth. If you want to get rich, stop trying to look rich. No one ever became wealthy by pretending. Wealth is built when you value freedom more than attention and ownership more than image. The sooner you understand that, the faster your financial life changes. Most people make one of the biggest financial mistakes of their lives without even realizing it. And they do it proudly. They walk into a showroom, see something shiny and new, and convince themselves it's a smart purchase. It's not. Anything that loses value the moment you buy it is not helping you build wealth, it's working against you. A depreciating item is one that goes down in value over time. The problem isn't owning useful things. The problem is overpaying for things that are guaranteed to be worth less tomorrow. New cars, trendy gadgets, constant upgrades. These are wealth killers disguised as rewards. You work hard for your money, then you hand it over to something that steadily erases its own value. That's not a strategy. That's emotional spending. The worst part is how normal this behavior has become. People finance depreciation. They borrow money, pay interest, and celebrate something that is mathematically designed to lose value. It's like setting your money on fire slowly and calling it progress. Meanwhile, the same people say investing is risky. There's nothing riskier than locking yourself into payments for something that will never pay you back. The depreciating items create a dangerous illusion of success. You feel accomplished because you own something new, but that feeling fades fast. The bills don't. You're then forced to keep earning at the same pace just to maintain what you already have. That pressure limits your choices. It keeps you tied to jobs you don't like and decisions you don't want to make. Wealth is about freedom, and depreciation steals it quietly. The smart money goes toward things that hold value, or better yet, produce income. Assets don't care about your ego. They care about numbers. They either grow, generate cash, or protect your capital. If something does none of those, it should be questioned. Convenience and excitement are expensive emotions when they're funded by your future. This doesn't mean you should never buy things you enjoy. It means you earn those purchases after your financial foundation is solid. You buy convenience with profits, not with hope. You don't reward yourself for effort, you reward yourself for results. Until your money is working harder than you are, depreciation should be kept to an absolute minimum. If you want to build wealth, you must respect the direction your money is moving. Every dollar should be climbing, not sliding backward. That the faster you stop feeding money into things that shrink in value, the faster you'll see real progress. Wealth grows when you choose ownership and growth over instant gratification. People don't usually go broke from one massive mistake. They go broke quietly, slowly, one small decision at a time. It's the daily spending that feels harmless that does the most damage. A few dollars here, a few dollars there, and suddenly your money is gone, but you can't explain where it went. That's not an accident, that's a habit. Daily convenience spending is seductive because it feels deserved. You worked hard, you're busy, you're tired, so you tell yourself it's no big deal. A coffee on the way to work, food delivery instead of cooking, rides instead of walking, subscriptions you barely use but never cancel. None of these purchases feel serious, which is exactly why they're dangerous. The problem isn't the cost, it's the repetition. A small expense repeated daily becomes a major financial drain over time. What looks like pocket change today becomes thousands of dollars over a year and tens of thousands over a decade. That money could have been invested, saved, or used to reduce debt. Instead, it disappears without creating anything of value. Convenience spending also destroys awareness. When money leaves your account automatically, or in tiny amounts, you stop paying attention. You don't feel the loss, so you don't correct the behavior. That lack of attention keeps you stuck. Wealth requires intention. If you don't know where your money is going, you are not in control, you're reacting. There's also a mindset issue at play. Convenience spending trains you to choose ease over discipline. It teaches you to solve every inconvenience with money. That's a dangerous habit because life is full of inconvenience. If every minor discomfort costs you cash, you'll always be financially vulnerable. The people who build wealth think differently. They don't eliminate convenience entirely, but they use it strategically. That they decide in advance where convenience is worth paying for and where it's not. They track their spending. They respect the power of small numbers compounded over time. That they understand that discipline in the little things creates freedom in the big things. This isn't about deprivation, it's about awareness and control. The making your own coffee doesn't make you poor. Ordering less delivery doesn't make you miserable. What it does is give your money room to grow instead of constantly leaking out of your life. Every dollar you don't waste is a dollar you can put to work. If you want to get rich, stop ignoring the small expenses. They are not small, they are the silent thieves of your future. Fix the leaks, and you'll be shocked at how quickly your financial situation improves. One of the most expensive habits people develop is spending money to impress others. It's subtle, but it's destructive. You buy things not because you need them, but because you want to be seen a certain way. You want approval, admiration, or validation. The problem is that none of those things pay dividends and none of them build wealth. When you spend to impress, you give other people control over your financial decisions. Your money stops following logic and starts following emotion. You ask yourself, what will they think? Instead of, does this make financial sense? That shift alone can keep you poor for life. The truth is, the most people you're trying to impress aren't paying attention. They're too busy worrying about their own lives. And even if they do notice, the impression fades quickly. The debt, however, sticks around. You're left working longer hours and taking on more stress just to maintain an image that delivers nothing in return. This behavior usually comes from insecurity. People feel pressure to prove they're successful, capable, or worthy. But real confidence doesn't need proof. The real confidence comes from stability, not applause. The strongest financial position is being able to walk into any room and not care what anyone thinks because your finances are solid. Spending for approval creates a dangerous cycle. You buy something to feel good, the feeling wears off, and then you need another purchase to get it back. Over time, this turns into lifestyle inflation. As soon as you earn more, you spend more, not because your life improved, but because your expectations did. That's how high earners still live paycheck to paycheck. The wealthy individuals understand something critical: freedom is more valuable than image. They would rather have money in the bank than compliments from strangers. They choose ownership over optics. They don't chase trends, and they don't compete in lifestyle races that have no finish line. When you stop trying to impress, your financial decisions become clearer. You spend on what adds value to your life, not what adds attention. You invest in things that grow, not things that get noticed. You stop measuring success by reactions and start measuring it by results. If you want to build wealth, you must break the habit of buying approval. Approval is temporary. Financial stability is permanent. The moment you stop caring about impressing people who don't contribute to your future is the moment your money finally starts working for you instead of against you. The most people get the order completely wrong when it comes to enjoyment and rewards. They treat entertainment like a right instead of a privilege. They spend first, hope later, and then wonder why they're always stressed about money. The truth is simple: if you haven't earned it yet, you can't afford it, no matter how much you want it. The entertainment before financial stability is a trap. Expensive trips, the latest gadgets, constant upgrades, nights out that turn into habits. These things feel like progress, but they're not. They're pauses disguised as rewards. You tell yourself you deserve them because you're working hard, but hard work without results doesn't justify spending. The results do. When you reward yourself too early, you remove the incentive to build real momentum. You spend the money that should have been invested, saved, or used to reduce risk. Instead of planting seeds, you're eating them. Then you're forced to start over again, stuck in the same financial place, just older and more tired. There's also a psychological cost. The early entertainment trains your brain to expect comfort without achievement. That's dangerous. It weakens discipline. It lowers your tolerance for sacrifice. Wealth requires sacrifice, especially in the early stages. You have to be willing to delay pleasure today so you can buy freedom tomorrow. The people who build wealth understand timing. They don't eliminate fun, but they schedule it properly. They let their investments pay for their lifestyle, not their salary. They wait until income is stable, assets are growing, and money is working without constant effort. Only then does entertainment become guilt-free and sustainable. The spending on entertainment before you're financially ready creates pressure. Pressure to earn more just to keep up. Pressure to say yes to things you don't want to do. The pressure to maintain a lifestyle that hasn't been earned. That pressure steals creativity, focus, and long-term thinking, all things required to grow wealth. There's a major difference between rest and escape. Rest is necessary. Escape is expensive. If you're constantly spending money to avoid discomfort, boredom, or stress, you're not solving problems, you're delaying them. And delayed financial problems don't disappear, they compound. Earning entertainment changes how it feels. When you know your bills are covered, your future is funded, and your assets are growing, enjoyment hits differently. There's no anxiety attached to it, no regret, no mental math. That's the reward most people miss because they rush the process. If you want to get rich, flip the sequence. Build first. Invest first. Secure your foundation first. Let discipline come before indulgence. Entertainment should be the result of success, not the excuse for avoiding it. When you learn to wait, you don't just build wealth, you build control. And control is worth far more than any temporary pleasure you haven't earned yet. Money without direction is useless. If you don't tell your money what to do, it will disappear. Most people treat money casually, hoping it somehow works itself out. It won't. Every dollar must have a purpose, or it becomes wasted potential. The wealth is built by intention, not by chance. A dollar is a tool. Like any tool, it should be used deliberately. When money enters your life, it should already have an assignment. Is it meant to grow? Is it meant to protect you from risk? Is it meant to improve your ability to earn more? If it does none of these, then it's not serving you. It's just passing through. People who struggle financially often say they don't make enough money. That's rarely the real issue. The issue is that their money has no structure, that it comes in and goes out without a plan. Without purpose, even a high income can vanish. With purpose, even a modest income can build serious wealth over time. The purpose creates discipline. When you know what every dollar is meant to do, spending becomes a conscious decision instead of an emotional reaction. You stop buying things impulsively because you understand what you're giving up in exchange. That awareness is powerful. It turns money from something stressful into something strategic. Giving money a job also creates momentum. Dollars that are invested start producing more dollars. The money set aside for protection creates peace of mind. Money spent on education increases future earning potential. Each purpose strengthens the next, and suddenly your financial life begins to compound instead of stall. This approach forces you to think long-term. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this today?" you ask, "What does this cost me tomorrow?" That question changes behavior. It separates short-term comfort from long-term freedom. Wealth grows when you consistently choose the latter. The purpose doesn't mean rigidity, it means clarity. You can still enjoy your money, but enjoyment is planned, not accidental. You decide in advance how much goes to living, how much goes to growth, and how much goes to protection. That structure gives you control, and control eliminates panic. When money has purpose, progress becomes measurable. You can see growth, you can see stability, you can see improvement. That visibility builds confidence, and confidence fuels better decisions. The cycle feeds itself in a positive direction. If you want to get rich, stop letting your money wander. Assign it. Direct it. Demand results from it. The money should work harder than you do. When every dollar has a clear mission, wealth stops being a dream and starts becoming a system.